It's the biggest political question which is dominating discourse in the corridors of power. Who is going to be the next BJP president? बीजेपी का अगला राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष बनेगा तो कौन बनेगा? Let's look at the facts first up. JP Nadda, the outgoing BJP president, is not going to be given another term as party president. That story is clear. He had already been given one extension because he had come into his position as BJP president, completing the tenure of his predecessor. Now, with the BJP back in the saddle in the Lok Sabha, the BJP managing to overcome the perceptional optical losses because of its inability to strike a majority of its own in the Lok Sabha elections and thereby making a clean sweep by winning all subsequent assembly elections, barring the state of Jharkhand. The BJP leadership wants to take a firm, decisive step forward, which will bring in a generational change while at the same time keeping the balance of caste, of gender, of regional aspirations also in check. So, who are the top contenders in that sense? Should the BJP, which if you look at the Hindi heartland states like UP, Bihar, Haryana, Rajasthan, the BJP clearly is in pole position today. Narendra Modi, who is an MP from Varanasi, and someone who has clearly positioned himself as numero uno neta in the Hindi heartland. Is there a new political territory which the Prime Minister still has to triumph over? And is that new political territory the southern parts of the country? If you go back to the prime ministerial tenure of Atal Bihari Vajpayee between 1998 to 2004, barring that time period, almost all BJP presidents have always been in their 50s. At that time, you had a Venkaiah Naidu. At that time, you had a Bangaru Lakshman, who was 61, a Janak Krishnamurthy, who was 73, and M. Venkaiah Naidu, who was 63. Other than this, the BJP has always chosen to go in with a younger lot. Where is the younger lot today? Who are those top contenders? First, let's look at the caste combinations. The Prime Minister himself is clearly the biggest backward face. He is an OBC. You have a President, Draupadi Murmu, who is the most prominent tribal face. So, as far as the backward or tribal representation in the BJP scheme of things is concerned, that box is being ticked. Then comes the question of loyalty and efficiency. Devendra Fadnavis, till the Maharashtra Assembly elections, was being considered a potential hot favorite. Someone who had even gone to the extent of managing a private bungalow for himself in the national capital, and that had set tongues wagging that is Fadnavis now set to be the next BJP president. Well, he's clearly out of it because he doesn't want to leave Varsha in Mumbai. Shivraj Singh Chouhan, the former Madhya Pradesh chief minister, and someone whose ability to keep his head under the table has always positioned him as a key person of the BJP. But now, at a private function, Shivraj Singh Chouhan made this grand announcement that now that his son was also married, and now that he had been a chief minister and a cabinet minister, it was time for him to get towards Vanprastha Ashram. There is just another problem with Shivraj Singh Chouhan. When it comes to the loyalty question to Narendra Modi and Amit Shah, not so much to the RSS. We've not forgotten the fact that in 2014, Shivraj Singh Chouhan, who was then considered to be a protege of the late Sushma Swaraj, he had made some inkling about his potential ambition of taking a shot at the top position. So, unlikely that Shivraj Singh Chouhan could also be that person. Is there a woman in the fray? Do we say that Smriti Irani, who was a giant killer in 2019, only to be completely vanquished in 2024, could she be given the mantle? The first woman president of the BJP? Is that a potential scenario? What about Vasundhara Raje, the former Rajasthan chief minister? On both these fronts, the buzz is that the RSS is not really sure of these two leaders. So while in certain hushed conversations, there have been murmurs of looking towards these two women leaders, very unlikely that this could happen. Let's come back to the caste credentials. Dushyant Gautam, a young firebrand leader of the BJP. Till the Delhi Assembly elections, Mr. Gautam certainly was fancying his chances. Unfortunately, he ended up losing the Delhi Assembly elections. Would the BJP think in terms of giving the mantle of the party to someone who's lost the recently concluded assembly elections? Big question mark on that. The next critical state which goes to polls towards the end of the year is the state of Bihar. Vinod Tawde, the man who was in charge of Bihar, the man who's been a minister in Maharashtra, and someone who has positioned himself as an ideal combination of youth, exuberance, the firebrand commitment to Hindutva, and he's also managed to take the RSS along with himself. Could he be that person that the BJP is looking for to bring in a completely new generational change within the party? Certainly on a probability of 1 to 10, I would say that Vinod Tawde would score anywhere between 7 to 8. But is there a dark horse somewhere? What about someone like a BL Santosh? We began by saying that the Prime Minister, who's a rock star in the Hindi heartland, certainly requires support of a big leader in the southern parts of the country. So let's now take you south of India's. G. Kishan Reddy, cabinet minister, someone extremely close to Amit Shah, and someone who has made a mark for himself of being there and yet not being there, which means that he never threatens anybody in the power corridors. He never threatens anybody in the power matrix, never takes any decision without taking the elders of the party into confidence. Therefore, on a range of 1 to 10, I would say that G. Kishan Reddy scores maybe just slightly higher than even a BL Santosh. What about Bhupendra Yadav and Dharmendra Pradhan? Bhupendra Yadav has been the man Friday for Amit Shah for a very long time, and so has Dharmendra Pradhan. Both of them cabinet ministers. Dharmendra Pradhan managed to get the BJP back in the saddle in the very, very tough state of Haryana when practically everyone in the BJP had given up on that state. Could he be that entity that the BJP is looking towards? Ultimately, what will happen is this, that whether it's a G. Kishan Reddy to take care of the southern parts of the country, or a BL Santosh in the same matrix, or someone who may be coming from northern parts but scores very highly on the loyalty question, ultimately, the big tick mark, the big acknowledgement will have to come from the Sangh headquarters in Nagpur. If you look at all these names, BL Santosh is actually an RSS man. Could he be the person who could end up becoming the hot favorite? He has had the experience of running Lok Sabha campaigns. He's the go-to person for a large section of the BJP, widely respected, did get into some kind of a quagmire when the Karnataka Assembly elections were held, which the BJP could not win. And many thought that the blame for the loss of Karnataka for the BJP was to be laid at the doorstep of BL Santosh. But if you keep that aside, he certainly is BJP's numero uno neta when it comes to southern parts of the country. Our assessment, a southern leader, if it has to be, then it will end up coming from one of these southern leaders that we have been speaking about. Is it a woman somewhere in the mix from the southern states? Not someone who would have the gravitas or the political maturity to lead a national party such as the BJP. But then, well, you have a scenario where a Rekha Gupta became the Chief Minister of Delhi, not too many people were aware of her, or a Mohan Yadav became the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh when Shivraj Singh Chouhan was the Chief Minister for such a long time. So when it comes to Modi and Shah, you can always expect the unexpected. But this time around, between the unexpected story, which has been a hallmark of the Modi-Shah duo, and the ability or the desire to expand in southern parts of the country, that's where the answer to kaun banega BJP ka agla Rashtriya Adhyaksh is really going to be found.